According to data from StatCounter, Android is far and away the most ubiquitous smartphone operating system. It's not even close. So with no real threat from any other software, Google has decided that it's conquered the mobile world and is taking aim at other global software markets. And with the recent PR problems that the competition has been delivering, here's why that could be an easy win for Google. Hey guys, I'm Ryan Thomas. I think that Google saw what Microsoft had been doing with Windows 11, it's making it way worse, and thought, we can do better than that, because the prospect of Android coming to laptops and even potentially desktop computers is not only interesting from an enthusiast's point of view, but it could be the opportune moment to take a bigger slice of the pie than Google currently has. And this isn't a conjecture or a big what if scenario. No, we've literally seen footage of the software in use. Now, they're calling it this, but I refuse to say that because it's AluminumOS, isn't it? It just is. By the way, guys, we're really trying to hit 500,000 subscribers, so please do hit that button to never miss another upload on the Android Police channel. Cheers. You might remember when Google tried to make Android a desktop OS in the past, and generally it ended up making already middling hardware even less capable with either buggy interface adaptations from mobile or when trying to run on x86 causing a boatload of headaches when it came to app incompatibility. In a similar way to when Microsoft attempted to first make Windows work on ARM chips, it was not a great experience. But there is something quite interesting about all of this happening right now in 2026, but we'll touch on that in a second. Because I first, of course, have to show you the leaked footage of Google's AluminumOS, and it's not far off what we've sort of seen from the likes of the Pixel tablets interface in desktop mode, but with some key tweaks. The status bar at the top reminds me massively of the latest builds of macOS, and the cursor looks a lot more desktop OS-y, I think mostly due to its distinct tail. And though we are ways off this being a full Windows replacement, I feel like as a Chrome OS replacement, and potentially eating into some of that low-end Windows 11 market, given the bin fire that is right now, it doesn't look half bad. Of course, not long ago, it was revealed that Google is planning to merge Android and Chrome OS into a single platform. It makes quite a bit of sense really when you think about it. Both software right now are running on the same Linux kernel. They're both unapologetically googly in most flavors. And believe it or not, it's been a decade since Google first allowed us to install Android apps fully on Chrome OS. So it kind of makes sense for there to be some sort of merge. And in this case, it's AluminumOS. But when I said it's interesting why this is all happening right now, I mean because of the rapid growth of ARM-based computing platforms. Versus x86, even the current ARM chips are more efficient, they require less power draw, and that makes heat management a lot easier. And the performance on some of these platforms is already incredibly impressive, such as Qualcomm's Snapdragon X Elite series. Chrome OS has had a past of running on both ARM and x86 setups. Android has been trialled on x86 to a very poor success rate, it must be said, but if AluminumOS is meant to run primarily on ARM, then it would be in line to compete with macOS on Apple's brilliant M series chips, and that could be a game changer for Google. In its current state, based on the leaks and what we already have access to in the Pixel tablet UI, I feel like there's a particular kind of market for this software, basically Chrome OS users. Though I really don't think it would take much to expand the scope of AluminumOS to service the likes of casual gamers and media professionals. We've seen how powerful compatibility layers have become recently, with Rosetta on macOS or Wine or Proton on Linux and SteamOS. I can't imagine it would be out of the realms of possibility for a company the size of Google to build its own alternative that allows full-size apps and games to run on ARM hardware on Android effectively. But on the other hand, how many times has Google kind of just given up on a product? I won't start that discussion, we will literally be here all day. But the point is, Google has had opportunities to go ham in the tablet space and has tentatively touched around the idea. See the Pixel Tablet 2 cancellation. So I think that Google as an entity has the capability to come up with a strong compatibility layer and to bridge that gap. Is it realistic given the company's track record? That question remains to be answered. The closest thing to this stuff we have right now is either Android Pixel Developer Previews desktop mode, which you can find in the dev options of those running the QPRs. It's a bit janky to set up, it's definitely not the most polished interface right now, but once it's loaded, it isn't that bad. And perhaps the more polished version of this would be Samsung's DeX, which has been around for many years at this point. I've used this a fair few times, and it's the sort of thing that almost feels wrong. Plugging your phone into a full 27-32-inch monitor and having a desktop interface, it just feels like something from the future. It's definitely not perfect, and it's not going to replace everyone's desktop setups. But if all you really need is a desktop/laptop for writing, admin, and checking email on a bigger display, you could probably just get away with a Samsung Galaxy S series device. Yeah, it's not the most amazing experience, but it's pretty good and it's continually getting better. But that's not entirely what AluminumOS is about. It's not only about turning your Pixel phone into a desktop display. This OS is also designed to run on laptops, desktops, x86 and ARM, though since we haven't seen that Pixel Dev desktop thing come to a final public version of Android yet, it does make me wonder if Google is waiting for the official release of AluminumOS to bring the full desktop experience to the Pixel. Maybe for the Pixel 11 Pro series, or maybe a Pixel 11 Ultra if they decide to go that route. Android coming to computers sounds really exciting, and in some ways it is, but when you put it another way, Google is making Chrome OS into Android, it doesn't have quite the same wow factor to it. With Windows 11 falling short of expectations for many users and the current trend of switching to Linux, AluminumOS could be a real option just so long as Google actually commits this time and doesn't fumble the bag. Google has a chance right now to not only have the world's leading mobile operating system, have a chokehold on the admin market with G Suite and Gemini powered AI, and of course run so many apps and websites that billions of us use, but potentially also take a larger slice of the desktop operating system pie, growing its power. Whether you like that or loathe that idea is entirely up to you, and maybe this is a stroke of genius, or maybe it will just end up another prematurely binned Google product. Are you excited about the prospect of Google's push into the desktop and laptop space? Are you sick of Microsoft, Apple and Linux ruling the market and you want more comparison and more competition in there? And do you think it will really be worth the switch to AluminumOS? I'd love to hear your opinions on this, because generally this isn't the sort of thing that we cover that much on Android Police, but if you want to see more of stuff like this, let us know in the comments section. And whilst you're down there, be sure to hit like if you enjoyed today's video and subscribe to never miss another upload on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Ryan Thomas, and I'll catch you later. Cheers.